What's good, YouTube? Today we are reacting to the satisfying downfall of Real Madrid. Pets talk, football. Appreciate you for posting this video. Let's go ahead and watch.
Florentino Perez was after Alonso for years, just to sack him in a few months.
Yes.
He's like a toddler who wants a new toy, then gets tired of it after a few days.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Alonso losing his job came out of nowhere.
Xabi Alonso has been...
You know what I never understood about people firing coaches so early like that? How is a manager supposed to fix his wrongs or get along with players through that little time that they give them? I don't understand it.
sacked by Real Madrid.
Real Madrid have sacked Xabi Alonso.
Xabi Alonso não é mais o técnico do Real Madrid.
Súper sorpresiva.
Probably was one of the most unexpected moments.
La verdad que sí, ha pillado por sorpresa.
It can't be just for losing a Super Cup game. It can't be.
His authority is minimum. It's impossible to continue.
The timing, the silence around it, the speed of it all. Very few people inside the club saw it coming. The players...
Wait, is it part of the contract when a manager gets signed that you can't speak about it after? Or is it like Xabi Alonso just chose not to speak about it after? Because I feel like he's supposed to, for his future jobs, he's supposed to speak about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if he says, I left on my own will? Like, I wanted to leave. I didn't want to be manager anymore of Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Or did he just he called me, he told me that I was done and had to resign? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to hear Xabi Alonso's side.
Didn't know, the staff didn't know, even people who worked at the training ground every single day found out the same way the fans did, by seeing the news on their phone. Reportedly, one senior figure...
Almost nobody knew it was coming. Players and staff were not told to expect the club announcement, nor were the communications team. One figure involved every day at Madrid's training ground found out when reading the news on his phone in the supermarket.
Literally discovered Alonso had been sacked while standing in a supermarket aisle. Imagine being in the frozen food aisle and suddenly you get a notification that your buddy from work was just let go. Alonso's time at the Bernabeu barely had a chance to breathe. He was only hired in May. By December, his position was already shaky. There was a short run of good results that seemed to...
You know what I understand, bro? Mbappe, I feel like Xabi Alonso gave him that role that he didn't deserve yet. I know Mbappe's a great player. He scored many goals last season. He's scoring many this season. But I don't think Mbappe's that player that you say, like, he's the head honcho. And I think Xabi Alonso gave that role to Mbappe, which made other players mad.
Calm things down. It bought him some time. But after that Super Cup final, the illusion disappeared. Real Madrid lost 3-2 to Barcelona in the Supercopa de España final. The game was close though. Madrid were far more competitive than they were in the year before, where they got bent over and spanked 5-2. In fact, had Carreras not forgotten how to shoot the ball, or Asensio put his header anywhere but the middle, Madrid could have easily won. After the final whistle in Jeddah, Alonso and his players walked up to collect their runners-up medal. And now one image feels very symbolic. Alonso and Florentino Perez briefly embraced on the podium. It was one of those rare moments that they were seen together in public. At the time, it looked normal.
His face. Look at Florentino's face, bro. Like, come on, bro.
In hindsight, it looks like Perez had already made up his mind.
Yeah.
Perez is Real Madrid. He always has been. He makes the decisions. He holds the power. And what happened next made it painfully clear just how little power Alonso really had. As the Barcelona players prepared to collect their trophy, he waved his arms and called his players over, asking them to form a guard of honor for the champions. Now, some people have come out and said that Mbappe was actually telling Alonso and the rest of the team that they have to move.
Yes, it's clear. Mbappe goes like this to Xabi Alonso. And then Rodrigo does the same movement, like, yo, let's go, we're not doing that. You know what I mean?
To a different side because of the pictures being taken, and it had nothing to do with the guard of honor. But the details don't really matter. Just look at their body language. Alonso turned away, assuming the players will follow him, but they didn't. Mbappe, standing nearby, gestured for the players to go the opposite direction. The moment Alonso realized what was happening and that he had no control over it, he stopped. He sighed. He accepted the situation, and it was written all over his body language. So no matter the details of their conversation, no matter what it was about, this is a clip showing a star player publicly undermining the manager. This wasn't a one-off moment. As reports continued to come out, it was very clear that there was tension in the locker room from the moment Alonso stepped in.
Bro, there's this video of the team preparing before the game against Atletico in the Super Cup, the semis, And it's Xabi Alonso trying to get the team ready, like riled up, and everyone just like basically ignores him, bro. I don't know if this guy's gonna play it.
When you look at the details of some of the reports I'm about to show you, it just makes the Madrid players look so bad. When Alonso arrived in June, he walked into a dressing room that had been shaped by 4 years of eyebrow man. And to him, the way things were being done was not how you do things at a club that wants to be serious. Sources close to Alonso's staff described it as many bad habits.
When Alonso was hired as Ancelotti's replacement in May, he arrived with Madrid's hierarchy blessing to impose more discipline. He inherited a dressing room accustomed to things that he did not believe were best for a team. Sources close to Alonso's staff said many bad habits.
It's taking hold over time. From the start, Alonso made one thing very clear to the players. Everyone would have to work harder when the other team had the ball. And without that effort, no one, no matter their name, would be guaranteed a place in the team. His first matches...
I feel like in football, like globally, all around the world, I feel like that's a problem. When your team doesn't have the ball, the stars tend to not do anything. You know what I mean? They just don't do anything. Like Mbappe is known for not pressuring the defense of the opposing team. Facts.
In charge came at the Club World Cup, and the tournament, it started off well, but ended badly for Madrid, with a 4-0 loss to PSG. After that, the squad went on a break. They didn't return until August 4th, when preseason began, and when the group came back together, there was an important meeting right away. Alonso and his staff sat the players down and told them they wanted intensity, they wanted standards. That's what the club told them they wanted too. They wanted to move away from the just play and vibes that they experienced under Carlo Ancelotti's second tenure. But some of Madrid's senior players weren't buying it. Multiple sources close to the first team players.
The changes have not welcomed by everyone. Multiple sources close to the first team players told Athletic that feeling of frustration has taken hold in the Madrid dressing room, with many senior figures feeling disrespected and dissatisfied.
Told The Athletic that frustration had spread inside the dressing room. And it wasn't just one or two guys. They didn't like the extra tactical meetings, they didn't like the heavier training, they didn't like being told how to behave, where to be, and when to be there. From the outside, everything looked fine, but on the inside, tensions were boiling. According to The Athletic, players
Others such as Kylian Mbappe, Tchouaméni, Arda, Dani Ceballos, and Raúl Asensio believed in the coach, but Vinicius Jr. was at the center of the situation as well as the fallout, which lasted out for months. I'm not gonna lie, bro, you can't just blame it all on Vinny though, man. I feel like Vinny got a lot of blame for what happened to Xabi Alonso, and I think that it was just a collective, bro, of the team. You know what I'm saying? The whole team didn't really put 100%, which is why Xabi Alonso looked terrible as a manager. And yeah, what happened?
like Mbappe, Tchouaméni, Arda Güler, Ceballos, and Asensio really believed in the coach. But Vinny, Jude, and Valverde were not fans of Alonso. Think about that for a second. All Xabi wanted was for these guys to show up to training on time, train with intensity, and pay close attention to the details of tactical analysis. That's it. And yet some of these players found these basic requirements too much. Now Jude came out and said on his own app, yes, today you learned that Jude Bellingham...
I read this before, that Jude came out and said that he wasn't one of the ones, that this is all cap, that...
has his own app, that these reports are false, and that he never had any issues with Alonso. Vinny, though, absolutely did have problems, and he never hid them. Funny enough, the situation between him and Alonso really boiled over during Madrid's best run of the season. You see, in late October and early November of 2025, Madrid had won 13 of their first 14 games. They had even beaten Barcelona at the Bernabeu. They were 5 points clear at the top of La Liga, and the results were excellent. But the cracks were widening. In the 72nd minute of El Clasico, with Madrid leading, Vinny was subbed. The Brazil...
You see, I never understood that from Xabi Alonso. Why is it about Vinny at the 70th minute, 65th minute, 80th minute? That's kind of like, yo, let me take him out. Let's piss him off. Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand, bro. Like, he would put in Rodrigo. He would put in Mastantuono. He would put in other Arda Güler to take out Vinny. Why would you do that? I don't get it. It's kind of like when you think about Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema. Did Zidane or Ancelotti ever take them out of a game in the 80th minute, 75th minute? No. You know what I'm saying? So why would you do it? I don't get it.
Brazilian was very upset about this, and as he left the pitch and went straight into the tunnel, he was shouting, "Always me. I'm leaving the team. It's better if I leave. I'm leaving." The relationship between Xabi and Vini had never been smooth. Reportedly, back in July, Xabi had planned to bench Vini in Madrid's Club World Cup semi-final against PSG, but then Trent got a muscle injury and Alonso changed his plan. Instead, he played Vini on the right wing, not his usual left side. It didn't go well. As I stated earlier, Madrid lost 4-0. Vini was ineffective and he hated the situation. Since that moment, reportedly, Vini never felt comfortable with Xabi. The Athletic said that people close to Vini were already predicting in early August that it was not going to be an easy season. And they were right. At one point, Vini only finished 3 of the 10 matches he started, and there were multiple matches where he didn't even start. Reportedly, the people...
Man, I already know about the Vini problems, bro. Just tell me what happens at the end.
Xabi Alonso came out as the winner in this sacking. This is a guy who almost won a treble with Leverkusen of all teams, and almost did it without losing a single game. His system...
Crazy. When you think about the road that Xabi Alonso had at Leverkusen, and then the road he had at Madrid, bro, you wouldn't think that he almost won a treble with Leverkusen, bro. With like Florian Wirtz and Xhaka as star players.
Work when the players buy in, but I guess it shouldn't really come as a surprise. His ideas and what the club actually wanted never really matched. Alonso was about structure, discipline, and building a foundation, while the club stuck to short-term thinking and star power. He was basically given an impossible mission: to change the culture at a place where people don't want to see change. He was never given the environment he needed to make his project work. He'll probably go somewhere that backs him properly and do well. And this will be another case of Madrid losing someone they didn't fully value. When you saw him on the sidelines, he agonized over each and every play. When Madrid scored, he would celebrate like he had won a trophy. And when they conceded, he looked like he wanted to melt into the ground. It was all written on his face and emotions. He was passionate and really wanted this to work. But the players clearly didn't. And it's a shame, because it seems like Real Madrid need a babysitter, not a manager. And now the endless Real Madrid...
Hire a Táctico, players don't like him, bad result. Táctico fired, hire a good vibes coach, players happy, and trophies. Players get complacent by too much happiness, good vibes coach fired, hire a Táctico. That's a fact, bro. This is a fact.
Madrid cycle begins again. Hire a Táctico, the players don't like him, they get bad results, and the Táctico's fired. So then they hire a good vibes coach that makes the players happy, they win some trophies, but then the players get complacent by having too much happiness, the good vibes coach is fired, and they hire a Táctico. Arbeloa has now taken charge of the first team. He's trusted, he's loyal, and he fits the Madrid hierarchy perfectly. He's a great yes man. Alonso and Arbeloa are close friends. Their families are close too. Arbeloa said Alonso wished them well, and he insisted that their friendship remains intact. But it shows you once again the one constant truth about Real Madrid. No matter who you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how modern your ideas are, Perez always has the final say. And he told Xabi Alonso goodbye. Now the main guy who really wanted Alonso out was Vini. To see how Vini went from being a Ballon d'Or contender to an inconsistent winger, you have to watch this documentary.
That's crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Vini, the pace he was in when... You remember when Madrid had that jersey with like the gold on it? When I think Benzema was still there. I'm not too sure. But bro, that Vini, oh my gosh, bro. Compared to the Vini today, bro, it's like, where did all his football go, man? You know what I'm saying? But hey, Xabi Alonso getting fired was a mistake in my opinion. They should have played it out. But it was for the better, I guess, because none of the players liked him. Star players liked him. None of them did. And Arbeloa's there now. Let's see how Real Madrid finishes the season. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the video. And yeah, I'm going to catch you guys in the next vid. Peace.